I have reported my experience of visiting International Mountain Museum. International Mountain Museum was established on Free Foundation of Nepal Mountaineering Association. It is located in Ratapahiro, Pokhara 17. After entering the hall, there I found many information about International Mountain Museum. The basic objectives for its establishment was to record the documents and chronicle past and present development of mountaineering activities in Nepal. It is dedicated to the mountaineers who lost their lives. It has been awarded 2016 Choice Medal by Norge, Beijing, China. It introduced historical background, heights, location, and many more above 8,000 meters above mountains. It also displays about the geological information of Himalayan mountains and flora and fauna of Himalayan areas. Thank you.
An excursion visit to International Mountain Museum. On the date 9th of Jesta 2075, we all the contestants of Mr. and Miss SEE Nepal 2018 Season 4 with coordinators and organizers went for an excursion as a dry picnic at International Mountain Museum, which is located in Pokhara, Nepal. The objectives are to identify the historical, cultural, religious, social, and map showing distribution of ethnic groups, to discover the traditional utensils used by different ethnic groups, to explore the present situation of the museum, to collect concrete and factual information about museum and its adjacent sites. We had applied primary as well as secondary sources or methods. Primary methods. The primary methods we had applied where we visited in the museum with our coordinators, observed the short documentary films related with the Himalayan sites, snapped photographs, read notice board and inscriptions, and etc. Secondary methods we had sought through internet to get preliminary information about the museum. We had even read booklets, leaflets, brochures, history books, etc. about the museum. After visiting to the museum, we came to know so many things that we had not known before. We came to know the importance of various aspects like historical, cultural, touristic, archaeological, and social as well. Some of the major items or artifacts we saw and observed in the museum are Mountain People Gallery. It introduces the customs, tradition, heritage, culture, and way of life of the world mountain people. Mountain Gallery with its activities. This gallery represents the geological facts about the origin of world mountain system. It displays and gives explanations on the topic like geology, glaciology, rivers originated from the mountain or glacial fed rivers, mineral deposits, and flora and fauna, etc. It comprises the historical essence and explorations in and around mountain areas, hunting, trekking, skiing, etc. In nutshell, the educational excursion became extraordinary worthwhile. We came to learn so many things that we had never realized before. The visit turned out to be a real essence of life to us. I feel privileged and lucky enough to be there. I therefore must thank you, our Gospel Multimedia Private Limited and coordinators for taking us to such a great and grand museum. Thank you.
Hi. In May 23rd, we have an outing with our Mr. and Miss SEE Nepal Season 4 team in Mountain Museum, and we were assigned to write a report regarding wherever you like by the coordinators. Well, the theme and the topic that catch my eye at the first was MMA, Nepal Mountaineering Association. It was founded in 1973 AD by Kumari Katka Bikram Shah. The main goal of establishing this was to promote mountaineering activities in Himalayas, providing safety measures and awareness to the mountaineering skill to the Nepalese mountaineering and creating awareness of the beauty of the Himalayas, both nationally and internationally communities. NMA is also responsible for administering climbing permits for 33 mountains between 5,500 meter to 6,600 meter categories as trekking peak, while permits for all other mountain open climbing to Nepal approximately 300 peaks. Are issued by the Minister of Tourism, MOTCA. In October 2015, the government of Nepal announced that the responsibility for the trekking peaks will be transferred from NMA to MOTCA. And the extra information that I got from the wall list of the posters was trekking peaks are divided into different grades. F, gentle and sports, short, slopey up to 30 degrees. PD, scrambling ground, slopey maybe 40 degrees. AD, some pitched climbing or rock ice, snow 45 degrees to 50 degrees. D, sculpted pitched climbing on rock ice up to 50 degrees to 60 degrees. TD, serious technical climbing vertical ice. EDI, expert substandard vertical and overhanging sections. And last, ED2. The ED series is open-ended and ended and get harder with each other generation. The reference that I take to prepare this report was library. The first thing that catch my attention while entering the museum and the poster of the wall, which tells a lot by them. Thank you.
Hello, I'm going to talk about Excursion on International Mountain Museum. Firstly, we gathered in front of museum at 11 a.m., which is situated at Rato Pahiro Pokhara 17. By the entrance of museum, there is statue of mountain and there was small pond with golden fish. We had security check-up and got inside there. After entering the museum, I found a lot of attractive things. I saw many species found in Himalayan region. There was also a tea statue. Most interesting part was complete dress of ethnic group of Nepal, and the important part was about mountain there are in Nepal. There was also equipment for mountaineers during their adventurous climbs, which was displayed, and there are lots of things which are related in biology too. After we finish all things, in a conclusion, I would like to say that I got to know how my country is rich culturally and geographically, and it defines how much our country is diverse in small boundary, and from that day, our country is really unity in diversity. And in last, I would like to thank Gospel Multimedia for organizing such a wonderful program and day, which helps us to know about the fact of our country. Thank you.
Excursion on International Mountain Museum. Yesterday on 23rd May, we the contestants, coordinators and the organizers of Mr. and Miss SEE Nepal 2018 Season 4 had went for an excursion on International Mountain Museum, which is situated in Rato Pahiro Pokhara 17. First, we all gathered in Prithvi Chowk and we climbed the bus and headed towards the museum and reached there at about 11:30 a.m. Then we went inside a hut and took some rest. After that, we went inside the museum. We knew that the three personalities who contributed for the establishment of International Mountain Museum were Kumar Khatka Bikram Sa, Dava Norbu Sherpa, Dr. Harka Gurung. We also knew that the museum is dedicated to the mountains of Nepal and the mountaineers who climb them. Inside the museum, we could see original gear from many of the first Himalayan ascents. The museum also displayed on the history, culture, geology, and flora-fauna of Himalayas. We also knew about the different castes and cultures like Gurung, Chantyal, Pun, Limbu, and many more. We also saw different moths and butterflies. We also got to see the equipments and clothes used by the mountaineers. We also could see the model of Mount Manaslu. It was such a nice museum. We got a lot of information and knowledge about mountains, our ancestors, and also got chance to see the natural beauty as well. We also got clear knowledge about the Nepalese culture, and lastly, I want to suggest all people to visit the museum once to know about the Nepalese culture and history. And at last, I want to thank Gospel Multimedia Private Limited for providing us this golden opportunity to visit the Mountain Museum. Thank you.
May 23rd, we have gone to visit International Mountain Museum. The museum, which is located in Ratopani, Pokhara 17, which is the best museum I have ever seen. There are the halls introduce historical background, heights, location, and more information about mountains and hills. There is the information about the international background between China and Nepal runs across the precise summit point, where we can see the Nepalese traditional and more other things. There are the mountains person who use the cloth and the equipments in the Himalayan regions. We can see the Nepalese people with a different caste and different cultures. Thank you.